Hello, greetings, and welcome to earGROUND New Voices Amplified. And today I'm going to be speaking to the beautiful, the amazing NaGug. She's one artist that I'm fascinated about because of the way she pays attention to detail around her presentation, her music, and also that she has some beautiful music that she's been making for a while. And we made efforts to get through to her, and finally we managed to get a chance to speak to her. NaGug, welcome to earGROUND.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Great. Your name, I was trying to make a connection in Zimbabwe. Where does your name NaGug come from?
So NaGug is an acronym that I actually made for my art. So it's N is for nature, where she draws from. A is for advantage, as she's blessed with many. G is for gem, for she's a jewel. U is for uncanny. She might just know what to sing. Wow. And what to say. And the other G is for grant, is her calling. Wow. So that's how that's what NaGug is.
This is deep, but does it, is this something that you developed over a long period of time to say, oh, I'm gonna, or okay, what was the process like?
Okay, so the process is I wanted to call myself Gugan, which is my name given to me by my parents. And so when we kind of looked around ways that name, how it places on the searches and the stuff, it wasn't really great. So we decided to flip it. But then when I flipped it, I wanted to give it meaning. And then so hence the acronym NaGug, NaGug.
Wow. Beautiful. And you grew up in Zimbabwe before moving to UK.
Yes.
What memories do you still hold of your childhood?
Oh, many, many beautiful memories. I remember growing up in waterfalls. That's where I started. Being walked to school by my older siblings, learning to read and write, going to Mutukudzi's show at Waterfalls Hall, going to see Sekuru Madzikatire, going to the showground, just being amazed by all the art that was there, and loads of memories, going to the swimming bath, to the local waterfalls one in Les Brown as well. Wow. And just a lot. As I grew older, I became really affiliated with the rural areas, having older parents. Mm-hmm. So I am so in touch with the country, and I just love kwenda kumusha and just kwenda kuno nonga hoa after it's rained. Wow. I just like kutsvaga nengeni netsuvu. Mm-hmm. And to just help out kwenda kumunda and all that. So yeah, I'm that girl. Zimbabwe.
Wow, interesting there, because you mentioned two legends, Elijah Madzikatire, Safirio Madzikatire, I presume.
Safirio, yes.
Yes, Mukadota, to those that were born after the 90s, Mukadota, Safirio Madzikatire. And you also mentioned the late legend, Oliver Mtukudzi. Would you say this is where the creative journey started for you?
It definitely had an impact on the creative journey. However, coming from home, my home was really a Christian home, and everything was programmed according, to prayer times and music, and worship. And that's where I really started to find myself interested in music. Just hearing my parents and my siblings was just such a drive. My family discovered me at the age of about 3, 4. And what I would do was I would sing in secret after everyone is gone, and then try and replicate the harmonies and what was being sung, or emulate what's on the radio. So at home, I think my gift is more homegrown. And my mother, she just sang. She sang. Singing was her thing. And, she taught me to keep a song in my heart. And that's how it really began. Everything else that I experienced was just reinforcing that first love.
Wow, that is quite interesting. Great, because I mean, already the lines of creativity were showing at such a tender age, and also growing up in a creative family. But since they were doing gospel music, is this something that you were also sort of pushed? Because right now you're not doing gospel music. I would have imagined you getting into gospel music.
No, and no, it's actually my DNA, gospel music. It's something that I can easily wear, and I can easily do church, and I can easily be the girl who's supposed to be that. I still am at my roots. To be fair, those are the roots that I stand in. That's the ground I stand in. And anytime, even for my own, for inspirational purposes, for my own growth and dealing with life, I do go to gospel music. So that never goes. That will never go.
And let's talk about a musical journey from those days. Now you relocate to the UK. Is that when you started recording professionally, or is something that you'd already started working on whilst you're still in Zimbabwe?
Okay, so in Zimbabwe, there were quite a few occasions which were interesting. So the major part was when I went to Nyazura Adventist High School, which is an Adventist school. And you know, Adventists, they sing. They sing. Yeah. There are no instruments back home, so you have to harmonize and bring out that worship. So that was a major transition for me. Being at that school, I managed to really hone my craft. I was in several groups that we formed within the school and within the school choir. And the school choir was one of the best school choirs in the country. So we toured the country singing for official occasions and corporate occasions. So for example, our repertoire was about 150 songs, and you had to know them lyrically and musically. So you had to know your part by head, and you have to know it lyrically, and then you have to perform it. So that was really, really amazing practice for me. For example, we used to sing the Hallelujah chorus. You know, that's like a big song, and that was a really big turning point. And whilst I was at the school, the choir was recorded and released its music to, at that time, I think the music just went into the circles of Adventists in the country. And also with my group that I was with, was it Founded Hope?
That was the name of the group.
Yes, we were an a cappella group. So we were a 6-part harmony group. No, 4-part harmony group, but 6 people. So it was really great. We had hits for the school.
Oh, wow, nice.
You know, people would request us for assembly.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, with Yonda Munyoro, I know she still does music. Blessing Chauke, I know his family are really musical.
Yeah.
And Tracy Webster Madani. Yeah, we had, you know, that was a really important foundation. I never looked down upon that. And during that period of my life was a really life-changing period, because I was coming from being Musala Duyo Waterfalls,
yes,
you know, to being Munarpa Mission, has to wash your own clothes, has kwenda kumunda, has to kill the chickens.
Yeah,
and then on holiday is now going Kumusha, because the parents are also retiring and staying Kumusha. So it was a really life-changing time for me. So I really valued that all round for my life, for me to be who I am today. That was very significant time. And then when I came to the UK, I was just singing in church as normal to begin with.
Yes.
But further down the line, after a lot of experience of being part of the praise team,
Yes.
I then decided I wanted to go solo. After being with various groups again within the church.
Yes.
The sound was different now because I had I had that practice to learn to sing with the microphone all the time, to control myself. Whereas when you're singing a cappella, it's a different approach. It's just, put it out there. So this was a transitioning time.
Yeah.
And so I started my, not solo career, but I started a band.
Okay, great.
So the band was a Tribal A. It had Ricky Nelson, Timo Squambane. He's been like working in music for many years, South African. Ivor James, Andrew, and a few others. I won't name them all, but yes, so that was a Tribal 8. We did tour the UK and did a few things locally within Europe. So that was again some practice for me. I'm guessing you're thinking a lot of practice over the years, but
yes, but now I think it explains, because when I listen to your music, I see how all those years prepared you for what you're now producing, because you make very unique music, and it's not music that I can say, oh, I've heard this before. It's not a voice that I would say, oh, I've heard it before. Everything is unique. Was that a deliberate decision to say, I want to sound like this, or it's something that you stumbled upon?
Over the years, I've tried to emulate others. I've tried to hone a sound that sounds like XYZ. And I've always not loved it. So I've then learned to like myself and to be authentic, to express myself authentically. And that's where the NaGug sound comes from. Because if you look at my work, which I've done as Tendai Nelson, you will see that it's exquisite, because I've been really trying to emulate those who influenced me to have that sound. And it's more European, and it is what it is, orchestral music and soul music, different genres, but that didn't sound like me. People would have to say, is that a Zimbabwean?
Yes, that was my reaction too.
Yeah, but
first,
now part of my rebranding was to embody the pride that I have for my culture and my heritage, and express it through the music, express my experience and the influences of music that have come to me in my lifetime. Because even though I'm Zimbabwean, I've been inspired by music from around the world. So this was NaGug is just embodying everything and creating a new culture, but the culture that shows the pride. Wow. So that's where I am.
Awesome. And that pride does show. You have managed to really carve something quite unique, something quite outstanding. And last year you got nominated for the Zimbabwe Music Awards, which was a very big achievement, considering that a lot of the times artists in the diaspora, from those that I've spoken to, they say, it's not easy to actually find your food back home. At most you're seen as a foreigner, but getting yourself and your music embraced in Zimbabwe and also getting recognized at home, and you actually flew back home to attend the event. Yes. What did that mean to you as an artist?
It felt like a maternal hug from a mother. It felt like my homeland has said, well done, Tendai. Wow. We are proud of you. And then it also challenges me to be the best I can be, the best example for others. I didn't take it lightly. Like you said, I got the next plane out to be there and to celebrate this. And I hope that just shows how much I value this. I really do value it. I know I did get people asking me, oh, are you really going for that? And I was like, this is like, I don't know, almost the Grammys.
Yeah,
I don't
in
know.
Zimbabwe,
You
that's
know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah, true.
And it makes you, if you're validated at home, then wherever you go, people always check out where you're from. So
That's deep.
if people then find out that, oh, actually she's nominated, where she's from, she's been a nominee in the award, in one of the main awards over there. So it really propels you and it gives validation, and it's a point of reference for anyone who doesn't know you to say, well, there's something here, we should adopt this person on this project or the like.
Oh, great. And let's talk about your body of work. I know you just dropped something that we're going to also talk a bit about, but how much music have you released so far since you professionally decided to start a music career?
Okay. My music career is a baby compared to many artists out there, I must be honest, because of the dynamic that I work in. So music is very much a part of my everyday life. However, due to circumstances, it hasn't sustained me. So I have a full-time job. I have a family.
Wow.
I've been studying as well. So, which means that I've only managed to get good enough to release music. That's not that much. So as Tendai Nelson, I released about 4 singles. And as NaGug, I released 3 songs last year. One of them is Secret of Life,
Yes.
of which the video is there. Back to the Beginning, of which there's a video for, and Simuka, Mwana we Zimbabwe,
Yes.
which we just released the last few weeks. I have a lot of material which will be coming out, but I just wanted to take my time in doing releases for the rebranded material. I need to sink my feet in the ground, let people know that I'm there and that they can come and seek for shade under this tree. So yeah, there's more to come, much more growth and much more to be delivered.
And talking about Simuka, I was reading through and noticing how you developed that whole project, which is quite impressive and interesting because you decided to make a video where you're not part of, and you also worked with an multi-award winning dance choreographer in Zimbabwe, who's possibly, I think, the most sought after in the country, John Cole, to produce that body of work. What was the creative process like?
For Simuka, I had elaborate ideas for the video, which were out of the world, such as what you'd expect from an artistic person like me.
Yes.
But when I came across John Cole and I looked at his work, it just dropped, I just thought it should be as simple as young Zimbabweans embodying the song and dancing. I think this will be the right approach. So I just approached John Cole and we took it from there. I mean, he's like me, so he wants to do things by the book. So we just sorted out our contracts and moved on from there, put exactly what we wanted to have in place, and we just moved from there. He sourced everything and directed the project. So, yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. It was as simple as that. The turnaround was amazing. Yeah. I'm sure it didn't take about a month because the actual filming and all that took about a week. And the preparation was intense. even though one might not think so looking at it.
Mhm.
But if you think about the styling was done by a local person, one of John Cole's team, there is subliminal, what can I say, symbolism about Zimbabwe
Yes.
in what those young people are wearing. And everything is meaningful. You know, the guys on top of the tank, the train,
Yes.
dancing up there, you know, it's saying rise up to the sky, Simukai, Simukai. So it's amazing. You know, I couldn't have thought of anything of it being any different than what it is now. It's amazing. So I'm just so happy, especially having the kids on the street come out and listen to what was going on, and they're captured and in the video. I'm just happy that at least it started speaking to those ones, and I hope that it spreads to everyone, Mwana wevu, Mwana we Zimbabwe, wherever you are, to rise up and better yourself, be the best that you can be.
Wow. And I think it's a message that resonates with where we are as Zimbabweans. You know, despite going through the struggles, I think Zimbabwe needed that kind of music that would usher in a lot of hope and encourage Zimbabweans to just get on their feet, be resilient, and work hard. Now you have told us that you're already working on something, but and you have mentioned that everything in that video, Simuka, was so deliberate, and there was a stylist to it. And this is something that I want to talk about. When I look at the brand NaGug, for me, I think what strikes me the first, the most, firstly, it's the hairdo, your clothes, your earrings. Even if I'm looking at you now, right? It's all out there. You really go out there, and it's not the usual. It's very unusual. Take us through that creative process of you dressing up, looking in a certain way, getting your hair in a certain direction.
Part of the reason why I rebranded was I wanted to be more intentional in every aspect of my art, not just the music. I wanted the music to be of quality, to show all my influences. I also wanted my appearance and my dresses to amalgamate all what's influenced me and also show the richness of my heritage. So immediately when you see a NaGug music cover, you think royalty, you think Africa. Then someone would ask, but where are you from? Zimbabwe, right there. Simuka, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how we have to sell the brand Zimbabwe. As artists, we have to be intentional. So that's where that comes from. So for me to bring out my look, I've gone to really sought after world renowned artists to work with me at different stages to bring out the look that I want. I am very creative, so I can draft something together. I can style myself. I can take the sewing machine, make a sample of this and that. And when I talk to these people, particularly Angela Pluma, she's been really instrumental. She was just like a blessing that I didn't expect. I reached out to a lot of people in the art world, in the art and fashion world, real people. And she's one of the people who responded, and we took it from there. We just clicked in every angle and we took it from there. So she's a braid culture artist. She makes everything for me with hair. Wow. So even some of the clothes I'm wearing, they're knitted with hair for me to wear for some of these, for the places that I go to and the events and other places and for my shoots and stuff. So I have to be intentional, and it's all very intentional, and we want to keep that up, that the royal vibe and the amazingness of futurism as well. not just going back to the past, but I hope that people can sense that within my body of work. And it's very much, it's all exporting the brand Zimbabwe, really. Yeah.
Wow. All exporting the brand Zimbabwe, and you actually managing to do that. When people meet you and people speak to you, what sense do they get about where you're coming from?
They have a different perspective. Even what I sing, my music can transition so far because it's been played over here. Yes. And because I've been picked up by a German label to work with me doing the Soulful House, I know that what I'm doing can somehow is speaking to different peoples. So yeah, I guess that's the main reason.
Wow, that's quite powerful, because you said so well there. This is one thing that a lot of Zimbabwean creatives are trying to find themselves around, to say, how do we become very rooted in Zimbabwe, but also globally acceptable? And to hear it from somebody who's actually managing to do that, I think is something that will help the next artist. Wow, it's been awesome. I would have loved to continue the conversation, to ask you more stuff, but this is not going to be the last time that we've spoken.
That's right.
There are people that would love to connect with you, would love to follow your music, and be able to get more and even get updates. How do they connect with NaGug?
I'm on, my social media handle is NaGug Music. So at NaGug Music, put that in Facebook, in Instagram, or on Twitter. And on TikTok, you'll find me. That's another amazing place. I just opened an account a couple of days. So yeah, do check it out. And my website, www.nagug.com. And on YouTube, I'm at NaGug Music again. So that's where people can find updates about me.
Right. Wow, yeah. Thank you so much, NaGug. I really, really appreciate knowing that we are busy, which amazes me, because being a parent, being a student, working full-time, doing music, where do you get all this time?
I just have to organize myself really well. It comes down to organization and the drive and the passion. Oh, I can't forget that. Yeah. I know people say, oh, where's the albums? Where's that? But one thing about NaGug, I'm about quality and about intention. I want every piece of work that I put out to be the best it can be. So unfortunately, I will not be the trend. I will be Queen NaGug. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Wow, Queen NaGug, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for sharing with us at earGROUND. And everybody who's watching would love to get in touch. You heard it. Go on NaGug Music. That is across all the platforms. Also, nagug.com to find out more information about NaGug and hear your music. I would recommend you to listen to Simuka, especially if you are one person who's determined to actually overcome, stand tall, and be proud of who you are, where you're coming from, and make some meaningful contribution to the globe. Until next time, remember, earGROUND, your voice is amplified.